Hi guys, we have us a Saturn view. Jump time, not good. Tensioner failed. Allowed the valve guides and everything to be shattered. We just did a compression test. She lucked out, there's no damage. What we do have going on though is this tensioner for the balance chain, let me get some light on it, maybe you guys could see, there's the tensioner, that stem that sticks out, the back side failed. There's the spring for it. This right here is all open, it goes right down into the oil pan. This is how her guides came out. The problem is, there's pieces down in the oil pan. This is where it bolts to. You can see where it's just snapped right off. And like I said, this one here, there's supposed to be a backing plate on here. That is this side, this is the tensioner side that pushes on this to keep tension. We are doing the balance chain too. If you're gonna come in here and do the timing chain, do the balance chain. Don't screw around. Because look how loose that is and the tensioner's on it. So, but we have compression, so we're good there. I just did a compression test. This is the 2.4 Eco. We got the cams out of it. That's how we can do it, because now all the valves are closed. We don't have to worry about anything getting hit. But yeah, I'm gonna have to call a customer because we're dropping the oil pan. It's unavoidable. See how far they want to go into this. I'll have to get a price on oil pan gaskets, see what's gonna be there. Yeah, all right, that's where we're at. They're not super hard to do the balance and the timing chain. So this is a DIY project. It's just this one, your tensioner goes right here. It bolts in. I believe it's a 24 millimeter socket or something like that. But this is your guide. When that broke, it let that collapse. The chain was flopping, and she did there's no damage to the motor, but it did a hell of a number on the other components and got it screwed. So all right, that's where we're at. So I'm gonna get with the customer and see how they want to proceed, because the oil pan's gonna have to come off. We got all the parts are down in the oil pan, so it's got to come off. So all right, scratching my head. I'll get this plug out, but there's supposed to be a bolt right there. Right there, there's supposed to be a bolt right about there. That's the top bolt to hold the guide plate, all that pieces. And this is supposed to be the bottom bolt, right there. They are both sheared off. That means it's down in the oil pan, but the issue we're gonna have, that one's at least flush. I might be able to bring a welder over here and weld a nut onto it. The problem with this one, when I look down in there, I gotta get this plug out, it's corroded in. I cannot see the end of the bolt, so it might be down inside the block. We got to get them bolts out because they hold them, that guide if we can't get the bolts out, then we're kind of screwed. So I'm scratching my head right now for a little bit on what I'm gonna do. That one, I think I'm just gonna bring a welder over, weld a nut on, and should get it out. This one though, there's all that gap between there. It's gonna play hell trying to get a welder in there or anything else. So scratching my head on this one yet, because easy out bits are only about yay long. So again, it's too deep, can't use an easy out. So all right, that's where we're at. Just kind of scratching my head right now to figure this one out, but we'll figure something out. So get back to you. All right, I think I showed yesterday where this stud that's in there and that one down there that were on this guide were snapped. So what I'm attempting to do, I built that bolt up with weld, and then I put a nut on there and welded it. I'm gonna try turning it out. I'm gonna try doing the same thing with this one, but this one is about an 1/8 inch recessed in the block, and the problem being is the head's back here then, and this, so I got to try reaching in through here and see if I can get to it. I tried doing the repair economically to help the customer. If for some reason I can't get in there and do that, then I'm just gonna have, the head's gonna have to come off and go to a machine shop. There's just none, it's unavoidable. That one, I'm hoping, because it's flush mount, I'm just letting that cool before I try turning on that, so I don't just snap the nut off. Let the weld cool a little bit. This is where we're at. This is a 04 Saturn View and 2.4 Ecotech, which is the same motor that came in the Chevy Cavalier and all that. So this is where we're at though. It just made a mess. The tensioner for the timing, or the balance shaft, that tensioner's in pieces. This tensioner, this is not supposed to be open on this end, and it's just totally, it took everything out. So we're trying this through the generator in the truck. This is my little shop truck welder I just picked up, and we're trying this, and everybody cross your fingers, and hopefully this works out. Saved a lady a lot of money versus pulling ahead. This must be a Saturn thing. When I was removing this head, there was no stud there. I just had to use gas, got all the studs out. This is the head we got in. And that one's broke too. That must be a Saturn thing. That thing just breaks off. But we got all restudded. Because when the timing chain goes, if you don't stop driving, that bolt, even the machine shop, they're like, no, just get a reman. They wouldn't even mess with it. So junk head now. We did get another head. Like I said, I just restudded it. We're getting ready to set this on. I did get the cleaned up on the motor. I'm trying to keep it on the paper here. This is the old sensor. I believe this is 24, or the tensioner. I believe that's 24 mil. I got to pull that out. These do not have the best quality castings. Look at how coarse that is. Basically, it's styrofoam metal. I mean, I got to do a little bit of cleanup on here, and then we're gonna set this head on and get her torqued down. A lot cleaner than what that one was, but the valve wise and that. So like I said, slight cleanup on there, that little head gasket material. And then we're gonna set the head on here. We got this pretty much cleaned up, so we're just gonna wipe it down with some brake clean. That's one. I'm gonna clean this up, wipe it down some brake clean, then we're gonna set the head, and then we'll be ready to start doing the timing. So that's where we're at. I'll be videoing more as we're doing the timing, just trying to get this done. It's become such a fiasco on doing this. So all right, that's where we're at. They're really simple to do the timing on, 3-4 hours, unless you shatter it. I think I showed earlier this tensioner. This is the solid side, the springs poking out the back. The Saturn, the 2.2 Eco, is open to the oil pan. So normally when you do this, if you're doing just timing, you'd shove some rags down in there so nothing can fall. I didn't mess with shoving rags down in there because so much shrapnel went down into the oil pan already, it ain't even funny. I gotta drop the oil pan, no ifs, ands, or buts. So I didn't even put a rag in there. Any coolant that fell, whatever, let it go down because I gotta drop it. But otherwise it's a real easy motor. Just, man, if that timing starts chattering, stop the car, don't drive it, because this went from a 3-hour fix to, what did we get into? Still a DIY project, just a little bit more involved, but it's still a do-it-yourself project. Or you call someone like me. The timing on this, if I would have done it, I probably would have been in it about 150 in labor plus parts. Now I'm really trying to help out the best I can on this, but I think I'll have a gas charge because I did use to restud it, but I'm going to be just under 400 in labor, and with the head, all the extra gaskets, the timing set was $212 with a water pump. The head gasket, intake, exhaust gasket were $100. The front cover seal, I think that was like $32. So we went from under 500, probably around 450, 470 to do the timing, to, well, I think we're crossing the 600 mark with the replacement head and all that. So, man, when a timing chain starts chattering, I don't care if it's a 5.4, the 2.2, or you know, timing belts breaking are just as bad because you can have to pull the head. But man, if you have doubts, man, stop driving it. I can't emphasize that enough, or you're going to be hearing this mess like this. All right, we'll carry on once I'm ready to set the head and get it torqued. And that these have a stretch to yield bolt design. They're a one-time use. I do not recommend reusing them. Customer said reuse it, and they signed a waiver, so I'm reusing them. But it's a 3-step. You torque it, all of them, start in the center, work out. So you go these two, then here, then here, then here, then here, to 22 foot-pounds. And I gotta look again, I believe it's 43 foot-pounds. And then you do 90-degree turn. So hopefully we don't have any issues reusing those studs. So this is where we're at. I'll be back with you. Okay, we already torqued it to the 22. Now your second stage is 37. Sorry, heard it beeping, so figured I'm gonna change it out quick. So anyway, we'll just start again. I already did a couple of them, but you start in your center, and then you'll work your way out going side to side. now I'm just gonna recheck them all. All right, now we're gonna get our 1/2 inch, because now we do an additional 90 degrees for the final torque on them. So let me go and get that. I'll edit some out. So again, you're gonna go in the center and you're gonna do 90 degrees. Well, I don't like reusing them, but what the customer wanted. And the easiest way to do this, I mean, if you can't get your wrench straight on, like here, our wrench is at that angle. So that means right here is going to be our 90. And so you just pick a spot, and so we're going to come to there to get our 90 degrees. And again, you're going to start in your center, go one side or the other, but then you're going to go back and forth. And this one, you don't have to use the torque wrench, because you're just going 90 degrees. You know, position yourself so it makes it easier on you to work your way to get your 90. You know, don't try having it like this and then you're standing over there and push it. You know, move yourself to get into, so you got a good eye on where the 90 is. All right, and that's all there is to torquing the head. So head's torqued. We'll get the exhaust on it, torque the exhaust studs, and we're going to start putting the intake and injectors on it. And once this is all back together, then we can start on the original timing job. So that's all there is to putting the head on these things. It's not super complicated. It's a 3-step. Just follow your torque wrench. And I mean, like a V8 Chevy, they just have a torque, and this is your torque. You might have do a couple steps, but it isn't this 90 degree and all that, you know. But all these aluminum motors, they've changed. Now it's one motor's 120 degrees, so that one I actually go and I bend a wire that way, because you'll have it here and you gotta come to 120. So I'll go and put a bar with a wire on it at the 120. That way I can line it up and turn it to the 120, and I actually do it that way. This one here, since it's only 90 degrees, I wasn't going to worry about it. So all right, that's in. I'm gonna get the exhaust manifold on, the intake, and then we'll get to the timing. All right, we got the exhaust manifold on. We just torqued them all to 115 inch-pounds. Yes, I get people asking me, you torque that stuff and all that. You know what? It's a customer vehicle. So yes, I torque when I do brakes, tires. I torque everything. I'll torque the intake, the exhaust. And like I said, people are listening. Here it is. There's just a couple. So there, 115. You know, and like I said, you know, yeah, I guess it's trivial. People can say, why the hell? But, you know, this is your insurance, people. If you're going to do mobile repair and you're going to not do it the right way, then can come back. Your insurance company can say, well, you don't want to do it the right way. You're done. Also, whenever you're done with your torque wrenches, make sure you take the tension off the springs and put them back to 0 for storage. So that one's done. That one's already set. Yes, I keep all mine in their cases. So, all right, that's it. I dropped my light. Oh well, I'll get that in a minute. I'm gonna put the plugs in now. I do go and because I want to get this sealed up, I do go when I put my plugs in, that being aluminum head, I will use anti-seize on all the threads. So I'm gonna do my plugs and I'm gonna start on the intake. So, you know, just getting as much buttoned up. I'm gonna be here again tomorrow because I want to get it finished up tomorrow. This timing job has went on way too long. That's a long story, but that's is what it is. So I'm gonna get done what I can, and you know, so all right, enough rambling. I'm gonna get this because after this is all together, we still do have to drop the oil pan. The head wasn't supposed to be here till Monday, so I was gonna start on this tonight, get what I could done, clean everything up, and tomorrow at least get the balance chain on and drop the oil pan, clean that. But head came in early, so I'm gonna try really pushing to get it done tomorrow. So, all right, I'm done. Okay, exhaust is on. It's all torqued. I'm gonna try getting intake on now. I'm gonna get the plugs in it. I do put anti-seize when I put plugs in with the aluminum head. I'm gonna get the intake. I'm gonna get all this because the head wasn't supposed to be here till Monday. So I was gonna drop the oil pan, get that cleaned out, put the balance shaft chain in and that, and get it all set up and ready for the head when it came Monday. Ended up coming Friday night. So I got over here Saturday, the head's on, the exhaust torqued. I just gotta do the intake, get the fuel rail and that put back on it, and I'm gonna put the plugs in, like I said, because I want to get this all sealed up. I don't like leaving motors open, exposed. I did have it wrapped in plastic while I was waiting on the cylinder head. It wasn't just open. So I'm gonna probably call it a night here pretty soon. I want to get the intake on and get the plugs in, and then I'm gonna probably call it a night, and then I'll be back out here tomorrow morning fresh. Because like I said, I really hope to get this finished up tomorrow and get do a test drive on it. So all right, we'll talk to you later. All right, we got everything torqued up here. We still have to change the gears to the new ones. We started with our balance shaft. Your intake will be at noon. This one will be at 6. This one will be at 6. As you can see, well, I don't know if you can, the gold link is on there. The black link is on the arrow. And there's the dot for that. All these bolts are going to get torqued to 89 foot-pounds. We're already done. 89 inch-pounds. Scratch that. Do not torque them to foot. You'll be screwed. They'll break. 89 inch-pounds on all these bolts for the tensioner and for your guides. The balance shaft cams are going to be torqued to 37 foot-pounds. Okay, it all lines up. We're all good to go. So the last thing we're gonna do, there's the pin. There we go. Tensioner's popped. Now we are going to start on the timing chain. This is the balance shaft chain here. Now we're gonna start on the timing chain for doing the timing with the cams. So at least this part's done. And basically what you're gonna do is you're gonna put your chain on, get them all lined, then you're gonna start adding your guides, and then once it's all done, before you pull your pin, get everything torqued. So there we are. That's all there is to it. It's a fairly simple one to do. So all right, now we're gonna get our cams pulled, our cam gears pulled, which is these, because we get new bolts and new cam gears in the kit. So we're gonna swap these over to the new ones, and then we're gonna lock the cams in place, and then we're gonna drop the timing chain down and start getting that all done. So we'll be back. All right, we got our cams turned. Here's intake. It's going to be roughly 2 o'clock. Exhaust roughly 10. I didn't torque this cam yet. This cam is torqued to 89 inch-pounds. So the gears, I broke these loose. We are now going to change our gears. We're going to drop our timing chain down, and then we'll start putting our guides in. And this is the plug here where that bolt was snapped in the other head from when the timing chain broke. So now we're going to go and change these gears. We won't torque these yet till we get the chain on. 24 millimeter you can put on here, and it'll lock these cams in place for when you're torquing. So you put that there, then you torque it. So that's where we're at there. I'm gonna go and get the gears, and let's get the chain dropped. All right, now these cam gears, they got these indexing plates just like the old one. I'm not gonna put them on just yet, but just showing. So once they go, you just turn it, and there it is. And there's our intake mark at the 2 o'clock once it's indexed. We're not gonna put these on yet because we're gonna put the chain on it and then drop it down like that. So just wanted to show you that they have indexing. So I mean, like this here, this is exhaust here, so index. Now if I do a 180 on this, yeah, it'll index also, but then you won't have a mark right there, and it'll throw your timing off. So that's why you want to get your cam somewhat preset, because you have an intake and exhaust on each gear. And since this is the exhaust one, which is right there, and that should be roughly 10 o'clock. There it's indexed, there's 10 o'clock, and there's our exhaust. So just kind of watch that, have your cams set before you do start doing these, because if you put this on by mistake the wrong way and turn it, you are not going to be in time. So you got to kind of watch that when you're doing this, you know, because if you put the gear on, even though it'll go on this way or but then it will not be in time. So you got to watch. All right, we're done with the timing. These you torque to 63 foot-pounds plus 30 degrees on both cam bolts. Do not reuse them. The new ones came with the kit. they're stretched to yield. The only thing left up here is the valve cover. Down here we're just starting to clean it up because this is all done. The last piece you're gonna put in is this new oiler. Everything down here is, well, except for these gear bolts on the balance shaft, they're 37 foot-pounds. Everything else is 89 inch-pounds. Everything's torqued. Now we're just cleaning this up. We're gonna put the gasket on, get the front cover put on. As you see, all our timing marks are right on. That one's there. That one, that was at 5, turned it a little bit, but all our timing marks are on. So now we just got clean up, get the front cover on, get the motor mount in, and it would be done. But since this tensioner came apart, the old one, it's all down in the oil pan, because this is open to the oil pan, and I can feel grit in there. Yeah, see the shrapnel? So we do have to drop the oil pan on this one. So this one I don't think it's gonna get done today, but we're cleaning it up, gonna get the front cover, the motor mount, so everything will be done except for dropping the oil pan. So pretty easy doing it. When they start making noise, if you quit driving them immediately, shut them off. They're really easy to do timing on. If you want to keep driving it, but if you're gonna do the timing chain, do the balance shaft chain, because it's right here. The balance shaft is just right here. Balance shaft is what drives the water pump. So all right, I'm gonna probably end it here. I'm not gonna show dropping an oil pan, but that's doing timing on a Saturn. I ain't gonna show putting the front cover on or the motor mount. So we'll see y'all later.